right here on the show. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and today we are centering the conversation around a difficult but really important topic. According to the American Psychiatric Association, domestic violence is a significant contributor to one's mental health and increases the risk of depression, PTSD, anxiety, isolation, and even suicidal thoughts. Tyrah is down in the Arc Lounge with a local author, Shawn Richard-Davis, whose book, Setting Aside Silence, aims to help survivors, family members, and friends addressing domestic violence head-on. Tyrah?
Yeah, thank you so much, Steve, and thank you so much, Ms. Shawn, for coming in. Congratulations on your book.
Thank you very much.
This is a very important topic to discuss, especially during Mental Health Awareness Month. So first, just talk with us about the effects of domestic violence on mental health.
Yes, thank you for having me today, Tyrah. I really appreciate it. This is a very important topic for all of us, for all of the communities. And with May being Mental Health Awareness Month, I want to talk a little bit about how domestic violence victims are affected. Survivors have an increased risk of depression. They have an increased risk of anxiety, PTSD, self-harm, and suicidal thoughts. And I will tell you that even during the pandemic, when partners were closed in with their abusers, there was even a more increase in domestic violence, and there was an increase in mental health issues.
So you mentioned all of the effects that come with being a victim of domestic violence. What are some steps people can take or do to sort of mitigate maybe some of the depression or anxiety, the PTSD?
Right. One of the main things is to, first of all, have a confidant or someone that they trust. And that can be very hard to get to that step, to where if they've acknowledged that they are in an abusive situation, then they find someone that they can confide in. They contact local or national agencies that can provide them with the resources and referrals to get to safety.
Having someone to trust that you could talk to is so important.
Yes.
Another thing you've talked about in your work is safety planning. Why is that important, and what does a safety plan look like?
Yes, a safety plan, it saves lives, and it actually helps the person to create a specific individualized safety plan based on their own personal situation, based on their risks, based on the resources that they may or may not have. And then it's written down all of the things that a person will need to take with them, documents, birth certificates, financial documents, child care, where they're going to take the children. And so we have agencies that have trained counselors, that also have trained advocates that are trauma-informed and will work with victims doing this.
Sort of like an emergency kit, and also having that real-life support as well, the numbers to call, things like that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's say you have a friend or a family member struggling with domestic violence, going through a situation like this. What can they do to help support that person and encourage them to break free, even when it might seem impossible?
I'm really glad that you asked that question, because oftentimes we'll have friends or family members, and we may notice some of the warning signs, like in their relationships, whether their partner is controlling, whether there's signs of physical and verbal abuse, and whether their demeanor has changed, whether you can't contact them. And so if you do sit down and someone reaches out to you, a friend or family member, the first thing is to not judge them, not blame them, but give them support. Let them tell their story. Believe what they have told you about their experience, and then help provide them with some resources, and resources in terms of what they need. Do they need transportation? Do they need finances? Do they need child care? All those are really felt needs that they can be helped with.
Great tips, and this is so relevant right now, especially this week when a lot has come out in the pop culture world. With Sean Diddy Combs and Cassie Ventura. We talked about that on Arc Seattle just a couple days ago, and one of the first things she said today was tips for people who know someone going through this. Believe them. Believe what they say.
And what's so important is that did come out, when that came out, everyone seemed to be writing about it, talking about it, and yet normal, regular people are being abused, murdered, assaulted every day, and this is worldwide.
Absolutely.
And so those are the people that I wrote my book for, Setting Aside Silence, so they could have a way to walk through their journey of domestic violence.
So let's talk a bit about your book. You offer a lot of great tips in there, and I should mention it's put together beautifully. How did writing this book help you in terms of healing, and also what does it mean to you, knowing that this book is going to potentially change the lives for so many people out there?
Well, this is the thing. I worked with domestic violence victims directly in the court system for 15 years. And so this book is actually part of the stories that are inside of me. And I felt as a gift to the world and as part of my purpose and my mission in life to save lives, I would write this book of all the words that make up the daily life of a survivor and of loved ones that have victims going through domestic violence.
You're certainly giving back and doing a great service with this book. How can people get their hands on a copy?
By going to Amazon.com and looking up Setting Aside Silence, One Word at a Time, by Shawn Richard-Davis.
Thank you so much for joining us here on ARC Seattle and sharing all of that important information.
Thank you, Tyrah.
Steve?
Yeah, it's a really important conversation. We know that domestic violence happens across our community every single day, but it's important to note there is help out there.
Yes.
Thank you for that very much, ladies. And we do want to mention really quickly, domestic violence can increase the risk of depression and suicidal thoughts. If you're contemplating suicide, there is always help out there. You can call 988, which is the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline that's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.